Today on the Travel Insider, we'll talk about how violence is affecting tourism in the Brazilian favelas. Also, the Mexican Ministry of Tourism calls for redoubling efforts, and we'll give you some traveling tips for this holiday season. Let's go to the information. Photographs taken by tourists from the poorest neighborhoods of Brazil have been added to the typical postcards of Copacabana and Cristo Redentor in recent years. 20% of the population of Rio de Janeiro, more than 2 million people, live in these informal communities, full of narrow alleys, marked by violence and an endemic lack of public services. The security that took the pre-Olympic years with the arrival of pacifying police units made dozens of hotels and restaurants flourish in some favelas, which had spectacular touristic views over the sea. However, recent events of violence have reopened the debate on this form of tourism. But it's important to remember that the favela is not just a poor place, it gives an idea of the real context of the country and is an important part of Rio, with all the positive and the negative. According to local information, of 13 tour guide agencies that existed, now there are only 9. And now it's important to create a strategy to keep the sector afloat, for which now is going through a very delicate moment. In other news, the head of the Ministry of Tourism, Enrique de la Madrid, said that the national sector is doing very well, and therefore Mexico must step up to conclude this 6-year term with a flourish. Stepping up means advancing one more position and reaching 7th place worldwide in the arrival of foreign tourists to the country in 2017. In front of members of the National Tourism Business Council during its General Assembly, he recognized the problems of insecurity that have affected some tourist destinations. But he also asked entrepreneurs to work on disseminating the achievements in the matter, as in economic spillover, which has benefited 10 million workers, and in investment development. The head of the sector said he's sure that the shortcomings coincide, but the sector is doing well. Entrepreneurs report that they are doing well, which shows a very different perspective to the country from the one that is observed in some media. In the forum, de la Madrid congratulated the existence of institutions and companies that care about the environment and education, but he also said that there must also be a commitment from the sector to have significant wage increases in its workforce. Finally, so you polished off the pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving, watched Black Friday and Cyber Monday come and go, and now, just now, you're thinking that it might be time to make your Christmas travel reservations. Well, procrastinators, you may have already missed the best prices of the season on airfares, but travel experts have tips for salvaging an affordable holiday trip. Whether it's due to a fare war between airlines or slightly inconvenient hours, there are definitely a few things you can do to ensure your holiday travel at the best prices. First of all, be flexible. If you're willing to fly on Christmas or New Year's Day, you can save. Also, check one-way fares. Shop all the airlines and set up alerts for your route. You should diversify your search through different sites. Travel light, and finally be aware that the lowest fare isn't always the cheapest if it forces you to spend more to check a bag or pick your seat. These few tips should help you a bit, but bear this in mind. Traveling on Christmas Day, when most airports are relatively quiet, isn't the automatic money saver that it used to be. The airlines have reduced the supply to meet the lower demand on days when few people want to fly. That was all for today. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media and leave us a comment to let us know what you think.